All right, pre-show shenanigans and interesting debacle has got, recent weeks, let me paint the picture. I want to say around 3 weeks ago, big power outage, and not a random Miller Moss interview when somebody ran into the generator, caused a power outage, little kink in the system there. No, this
Yeah.
one, looked it up on the LA Department of Water and Power website, a scheduled power outage for about 8 hours starting at 11 p.m. on a Thursday,
Yeah, doing
which,
that in the middle of the summer sounds like a very bright idea.
that's its own debate. That's its own debate. Having a power outage scheduled for 8 hours. It was a death night. It was a death night. Okay, especially in this room, it was a death night. We're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
get into
sure.
how a good thing occurred from it, but starting off, yeah, just a scheduled power outage fixing something. I don't know, but it wasn't just where I was. It was like 40 sub cities in the LA area. So just
Oh, wow.
an LA wide, no one's sleeping well tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
don't like that one in August.
had one of those, and while that happened, something with the power structure, power lines, completely wiped out all the AC in this house.
Yeah, not
So
surprised there.
I was chilling, and the AC repairman came by. This guy went full on God mode in a way. He like rips off the entire AC unit outside. He actually showed it to me. He was like, "Oh, as you can see, the cable that was connected is I still don't really know how, but the whole cable just like exploded. The term might
As
be
one does.
imploded here,
Yeah,
but
as one does,
but it
obviously.
exploded during this power outage, and this guy was saying, I don't know, extra surge or something. I'm no electrician. Okay, I'm no mechanic. I don't know what the terminology is exactly, but he showed me it. This cable's absolutely busted. This dude comes up, goats up. He was here for maybe 45 minutes, which may have been a problem because that was quite a quick fix, if you know what I'm saying. So immediately, guy comes in, he fixes it. There was like something. Half of it was working, half of it wasn't. Half the rooms are getting it. But bright news for me, this room's AC started working. I was like,
Which it has
whoa.
not done.
I was like,
It
whoa,
has not
wow.
done
This
before.
is a life change. I wore sweats the other day for the first time since maybe February. And I was like,
That's first time in your room, period, maybe. You might have worn them
in the summer,
outside. It
100%.
might have been the first time you've worn them in that room, period.
In the summer, 100% first time I've worn it since at least December. Even back then, I probably wasn't wearing them anyway. But it fits in this room, so I'm telling the guy, I'm like, yeah, you don't need to work that hard on it, because I was just
You don't want to
assuming.
messing them up. Yeah.
I was just thinking for a second. I'm like, you know what? I could deal with no AC in a couple of the
Yeah,
waste rooms over
the
there, but
office doesn't need to have it. It's
if I
okay.
know that there's AC could exist in this room and then it's taken away,
Yeah,
that's like the worst
that's
thing that could
mean.
happen.
That's like downright mean.
It's mean. It's evil. It's like Kurt Signetti making fun of the SEC right
It's like
now. It's
how
just
what
mean.
I don't remember where it's from. It's like, how are you going to show me something but not let me have it?
Yes, yeah. No, it was just would have been an all time tease,
Oh,
but
it's from that. I think that was from Uncut Gems. I think it was Uncut Gems. Like, how are you going
have
to show
not
it to me
seen
and
that
not let me
motion
see, not let
picture.
me have it?
Have not
Yeah, I
seen
think
that.
that's
Not
from
gonna
that.
lie. Maybe I should.
You
Maybe I will
should.
get into that. But anyway, AC semi working, but working in this room, which is biggest
It's
dub in
big.
Waterboy Pod, maybe in the past 3-4 years. But regardless, guy
I
comes
don't know
in.
about that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
we can roll with
definitely not. But
it.
guy comes in, fixes it. Things are all looking fine and dandy, and then last, uh, last Thursday, another scheduled outage.
What are we doing?
That was my question. Now, this one wasn't as widespread as the first one. It wasn't like 40, 45 subsections in LA going through it, but this time it was like 25. And, I was
Still a
just thinking
lot.
for the first one to be an 8 hour planned outage, you're already pushing it with an 8 hour one. To have a second follow up one, which this one good on them was only scheduled for like 3-4 hours, so wasn't too bad.
Next one will be 2 hours, and you'll
Oh
have
yeah,
one final
there's
one that's
there's
like
probably
20
going to be one
minutes.
tonight. Just just
It's
being honest
actually going to
here.
happen right now while we're recording this.
Now that would be a bummer. That would be an
That
absolute
would be
bummer. These are all
unfortunate.
going down on Thursdays though. Just
Okay, so we have some time.
there's
There's some
some
time.
consistency
If it's
here.
Thursday night football, though, we have some severe questions to ask.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully these are at night. But anyway, last time the power outage happens, uh, an interesting thing. So this new power outage happens, but it's not like a full on power outage. So the lights, fans, and AC, those are all still working, but 80 to 90% of the outlets in the house just go out. And so I'm in the middle of watching some good old tires. New season just dropped on. I'm watching some tires, and just everything cuts, and I'm like, we can't be doing this again. But
Hmm.
this time, not lights still stay on, fan still stays on. But quick side note: bathroom light did not have on. Bathroom light turns on for about 3 seconds, starts flickering, then goes out. I felt
Are you
like I
sure
was in
this
Stranger
isn't?
Things, Everett.
You
I
sure you're
felt like
not
the
like
Demigorgon was in
your
the.
house might be like haunted? Are we sure
Yeah,
that you don't need to have
no, Everett. I
the
literally thought
Ghostbusters come in?
I was in Stranger Things and the Demogorgon was
Unbe
about to break through
BuzzFeed
the ceiling.
Unsolved. BuzzFeed
I
Unsolved. It's coming
That was
back.
my bigger concern. And this happened like right before the full thing cut. Forgot that detail, but it starts flickering. It looks like season 1 Stranger Things when the Demogorgon's about to pop through the wall. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like, I don't think I got high, but am I? Like, what's going on right now? Did what that was, potentially up there for one of the most confused moments I've ever had. Ever. Certainly in this place. But regardless, half the lights are still on, fans still work, but all the outlets go out. So at this time, another person in the house goes and checks the fuse box, right? Just
Mhm.
see if something happened there. Also at the same time, find out on the Nextdoor app, which by the way, if you just want peak entertainment just in your location, wherever you are, you need to download that app and just read what people are saying. You will see
Next
so
door.
many parents complaining about like kids, like some kid biked on my sidewalk today. It's like that's legal. Like that's not an issue. But just the most unrealistic complaints going down. But we notice on there that like kind of everyone on our block specifically had the exact same thing where like lights are still on but outlets fried. So but naturally my dad goes and plays with the fuse box, and I wasn't there for this. These are his words. He's playing with the fuse box and he just sees it flicker as if the Demogorgon's coming out. The fuse box starts flickering, and find out later from a later electrician like that's very dangerous, dude. You should have like gotten away from it. But my dad was locked into like a Dodgers recap, and so he's like,
Yeah,
no,
he
we're
needs to get it
fixing this
back.
shit right
It's
now.
yeah, it's coming
We're
back.
fixing
Yeah.
this right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, it starts flickering, and this is now my firsthand experience. My dad's telling me like I start smelling this like smoke scent. And so I quickly confirm that, go outside my room. I'm like, it smells like there's a fire in the house. Okay. It is reeking of smoke.
Yeah.
And so when I get out, naturally my parents are like, we gotta call 911. Okay. And this is, I'm pretty sure, first time. I've never called 911 in my life, but yes, no, certainly it was the first time my parents called 911 either. But they call it up, and my mom gets on the phone for 911's dialing up. fire department or the operator. Okay, we're not even at the fire department yet, but operator. My mom puts it on speaker, very boomer, I know. And while she's talking to 911 operator, she's like mid halfway through explaining. And then I think she gets some notification on her phone where she's like, actually, 911 operator, I'm gonna need you to hold for a second. I gotta read this. So my mom puts the 911 operator
On
on
hold?
hold.
Oh my lord. Yeah, that probably went over super well.
Then goes on to explain the situation, but just that moment right there, my mom putting the 911 operator on hold, that will be in my mind for at least another 25. At least another 25
It's going to be
years.
the
I'll
next
remember that
time
one.
that hopefully never have to do it again. But if you call 911 another time, that's going to be the first thing in your mind.
Oh, 100%. But I was like, did she just put the 911 operator on hold? Yes, she did. Anyway, puts them on hold. Finally, they come out, and I think because my mom put the 911 operator on hold, when this fire department shows up, I don't think I've ever seen a more relaxed fire department in my life when they show up. All
No
right, there's
concern.
two guys who show up. They're not like in their fire
They're not on the
suit
truck.
or anything. They did show up in a
Oh, they
truck.
did bring the truck.
Did show up in a truck. I did not hear any sirens, but at this point I'm like standing outside because they were like, you should go
Yeah, in case
outside
the
if you
house
smell
blows
smoke.
up. Yeah.
House blows up, or just like carbon monoxide
Yeah,
poisoning.
also
So
probably.
going outside, they show up in a fire truck, but it's just two guys, and they are in like khakis and that classic Navy fire department shirt, but no like
Yeah.
suits or anything. But these guys are showing up. I swear, I saw one of them yawn on his walk in. I'm just like, all right, so they do not view this as a threat in the slightest. I think the 911 operator hold kind of helped out with that sense lack of urgency. But they walk in. I swear they were inside for 2.5 minutes. Guy like checks the fuse box or something, and he's like, "Yeah, we're now getting calls of other neighbors nearby," which we also confirmed through Nextdoor app. Great content, by the way.
Not
But
sponsored.
yeah, no, not sponsored, but might be. I mean, it is. If there was ever a free ad, it would be this, because that's like the most entertainment I've had in weeks reading the complaints on there. But they're like, oh, this is happening on the block. So eventually, some power guy comes in. I see him. This thing's like right outside this window of the like power generator up the phone pole. That little
Yeah,
gray
yeah.
box you see up there. But I'm like pretty much get a 4K view, front row seat, as if I'm in a box seat or I'm sitting courtside at the Laker game, pretty much. Watch him fix it. This guy, I swear, was hitting his screwdriver on the thing to fix it, but patches it up. This thing's done in like, by the time this electrician shows up and fixes it, by the way, fire people once again, they're here for 2:30. They dip. They're like, you guys can go back to sleep, and we're like, it does still reek of smoke in here though, and they're like, psh,
Don't be a
smoke,
baby.
smoke, go to
Yeah, don't
sleep. That's
don't
like
be a baby.
kind of what they were telling us. But anyway, I get a front row view of them fixing it up. I'm convinced this guy hit this thing with the back of the screwdriver like 5 times, and then everything was back on again. But yeah, that's you take away what the main takeaway there still is. My favorite part was my mom putting the 911 operator on hold. That was my favorite moment of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
no, obviously there's
Thankfully,
nothing more
nothing.
important than to the
Yeah,
911 operator.
exactly. I'm like, what if
Nothing
they
more
actually
important.
had like a major thing going on, and the 911 operator like probably is like giggling on the other end, like, what? Okay, threat level -3. Take your time getting there. Don't even need to throw a siren on, which I'm pretty sure they did not get a siren on for it. But yeah, that was my Thursday. That was my Thursday.
I mean, that's quite multiple Thursdays, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Potentially this Thursday as well. You never know.
yeah. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But at this rate, if not this Thursday, probably next. So there is that. But I will say, when I found out about Jordan Tyson's hamstring, that concerned me significantly more than a potential Demigorgon coming out of the bathroom or smoke filling out the house.
There's a lot of moving parts to this story.
Yeah, but I thought one fire hazard a little over a year ago was enough. Almost had a second one, mixing a
Yeah,
pillar of fire from about a year ago that I saw nearby. So
yeah, that was that the refinery?
yeah, it literally looks like it was straight out of the Bible. Like that fire pillar that like Moses is dealing with, or whoever it was.
I honestly couldn't tell you, but yeah, I mean, what a pre-show!
Yeah,
What
yeah.
a
I mean,
pre-show!
quite the events over there. But all right, we got a bigger disaster over in LSU in Washington D.C. right now, so got to go tend to that. And there's also in LA the half great, half disaster going on in LA in terms of the Los Angeles Lakers and other teams involved. But okay, time to get into it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today's episode 397, and the college football AP poll is out. Jayden Daniels, Everett, your watch has ended. Jayden Daniels might have taken
Not might
all
have,
the flack over 9 on memes in the
he
NFL world.
Yeah,
We'll see how long this one lasts. If
it's also less fun.
I dare Jayden Daniels to play poorly.
Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't help now for his case that JJ has been benched. If JJ was still starting, maybe there's some
yeah. Now it's kind of
line,
natural
but
things come off Joseph James right now.
Yeah, let's start.
But other
there.
than that, though, Bus family finally sold all of their shares of the Lakers, all of it. Bus family's out, while Mark Walter is selling off every ownership he has besides the Dodgers. More into that. And the Dodgers still suck at baseball.
No, we suck again.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, lots to unpack there. Let's start with Jayden Daniels and all of that, because I think that this is honestly hilarious in the scheme of everything.
It is
not only in the actual like situation with between Jayden Daniels, probably his mom specifically, and LSU, but just like the general response from everybody regarding it. Now it's like the Twins, they have a guy who wears 85 or number 5, and like they posted on the Jumbotron when he came up to bat, like, don't worry, number 5 will not be taken away from him.
MLB teams are getting in on it.
Yeah, you have even like legitimate companies putting up stuff regarding it, which is even more funny.
Everyone's having a little fun right now.
Yeah, it's great.
It's kind of the easiest jab you could take online.
The biggest thing in general, outside of all of that, is, let's think about it this way. So this initially starts with Jayden Daniels telling LSU that they can't use his NIL, basically.
Well, I got a little bit more, but it's an NIL issue.
I'm getting there.
But just real quick on that, I did not know this, but I'm not sure if this is college-wide, but at least at LSU, the way their athletics are set up is that LSU has a 12-month period once the player leaves the team. So that's just all college athletes, 12-month period to use their NIL for merchandising.
Yeah,
so that
it makes
period
sense.
ends, and Jayden Daniels
wasn't
really
that period.
upset.
Yeah, it's been over. It hasn't mattered. But
that's the key thing. It was over. They were still using it, and Jayden Daniels did not care until.
Well, let me continue. So and I'm going to get to the jersey issue at the heart of this.
Let's get to the jersey issue right now.
Well, I'm going to get there. I'm just set. I got to set the tone. I got to set the tone. So he tells LSU that they can't use his NIL anymore because he, quote unquote, felt profoundly disrespected after LSU allowed corner DJ Pickett to wear his number 5 jersey. And obviously we'll get into the comparisons and stuff he made to Joe Burrow in a second.
Monster corner.
But so DJ Pickett was recruited.
Yes, this is what I want you to get into. Yes,
by Brian Kelly before Jayden Daniels' season at LSU.
Good on Brian Kelly, by the way.
As a part of the recruiting process, Brian Kelly promised DJ Pickett would get number 5.
Yes.
Now Jayden Daniels has his season; he plays really well, and they're like, okay, maybe we're just not going to let you have that apparently DJ Pickett's chill with it to some degree, and DJ Pickett comes on. Jayden Daniels graduates and goes on in the NFL. Now, Brian Kelly gets fired.
Quickly,
Keep in mind,
might I add,
at this point, DJ Pickett still is not wearing number 5.
Yes.
Now, Lane Kiffin comes in, and Lane Kiffin goes, wait, you were promised number 5?
Whoa. DJ Pickett goes up to Lane Kiffin.
I thought Lane Kiffin. Okay, I thought Lane Kiffin. Whatever. Either way, Lane Kiffin goes, oh, you were promised number 5 and you weren't allowed to wear it? Yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Yeah, you were promised it. We're going to make sure.
Care less.
You're going to make sure that you get what you were promised. And then, boom, that's when Jayden Daniels like, what the fuck? And then he's like, look, you didn't do this for Joe Burrow. Like, Joe Burrow, nobody's wearing 9 right now. It's not officially retired, but it's nobody's wearing 9. And he's like, you should be giving me the same level of respect. Now, Grant, here is Joe Burrow's and Jayden Daniels' Heisman season, because he compared himself to Joe Burrow specifically because he was the other Heisman winner.
I don't get into stats here because I don't really care, but more so just the team, how the, what.
Yeah,
what
no,
else happened?
The team stats, Grant, team stats. Joe Burrow, 15-0, 7-0 versus top 10 teams, national champion, ranked number 1.
Yeah, first national champion in, I think at the time, 12 years.
Jayden Daniels, 10-3, 0-2 versus top 10 teams, no national championship, and their final ranking was 13. Now, also just for reference, Jayden Daniels had about 2,000 less passing yards than Joe Burrow and 15 less total.
I don't really care so much about
I'm
that
just,
part.
I'm just referencing. I know. I was just putting it in there because a lot of it was personal comparison. But yeah, team-wise, completely different. It's completely, non-starter. Like, they're not comparable. The teams aren't comparable whatsoever. LSU is considered one of the greatest teams of all time. That 2019 LSU squad is considered one of the greatest.
I think it's just they're the greatest. They're better than that.
And
team.
I don't think you would even put that 2023 LSU team in the top 200.
Oh, no. A bigger question is just among LSU football teams, is that team top 15, top 20?
No.
We'll start there.
No. And that's just the funny thing. And then the better part is that they requested LSU returns his copy of the Heisman, or their copy of the Heisman
this
trophy.
Is where I love it even more.
And
Jayden Daniels requested LSU return to him their copy.
So it's not the real one. It's what LSU got. He has his own one.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, after everybody's already doing the 5 memes and everything like that, Jayden Daniels on his story goes, I've been locked in on training camp. That's my number one focus. I'm like super appreciative of LSU. Obviously, there's issues to be worked out between my team and LSU, and I hope it will get done privately. But my sole focus is like on football, and I realize business is a part of football.
Now, this is one thing that I will quickly semi-defend Jayden Daniels on, but I'm not so certain if this was Jayden Daniels himself who made this fuss. There could be another family member in his life that could have created this controversy, or, an agent or manager like E may have showed up and riled up this storm. I kind of feel as if Jayden Daniels himself wasn't the guy who noticed this.
I definitely would tell you it's his mom.
Well, yes, that's where I was alluding at, but I don't think it was Jade. I'm going to side on Jayden Daniels on his personal behalf here, not his team. I'm going to assume he didn't actually care, especially after last season he had in the NFL with like his elbow going the other direction and just not going very well. I would hope for Washington fans' sake that his focus is on the Commanders right now, not LSU with the number 5. That I'm just going to assume that. You obviously just said it there with his mom. Seeing some clips, my favorite clip is the one where Jayden Daniels is at a USC some event sitting next to USC star basketball player Juju Watkins. In the first half, they're laughing. Also, like, there's a rumor, I don't know this for sure, but I think they might be legit cousins. I don't know.
Juju Watkins?
And Jayden Daniels. I've heard that, but regardless, the first half they're talking, having a good time. In the second half, Jayden Daniels' mom is sitting in between them like a proctor. Okay. And I was like, oh wow. Okay. That's something of note.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, but I will say a better situation with that parenthood than some other parent relationships we've seen, taking the kids' monies and stuff like that. So you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. It's funny and easy to poke at, but I could 100% see the mom or an agent or a manager riling up the storm over this.
I mean, it's very possible. It's just funny that they're using Joe Burrow as the comparison.
Yeah,
Bad
no, that's
idea.
not the best.
Bad
I kind of wish
idea.
he was using like the number 7 as a comparison because obviously that's not retired and you have to like get permission from all, if he went that route and was like, they could have at least asked me for permission, he might have had some
There's a little
grounds
more
to
respect to that because you're like, oh, okay, like it's not like you're gonna say no. You could have, but like more so, just like you
But
just want
maybe Jayden Daniels was
respect.
offended because like if somebody were to ever ask for 9 out of Burrow, they 100% are asking.
And
That's
Burrow's
just
probably gonna give it to them.
unspoken. Like you would ask Joe Burrow if you were going to try to wear that number. And
Yeah,
that's
but
kind of
it is just
standard
funny
for
though
many
because
other like notable
Jayden
numbers.
Daniels is just not on that
No,
same field.
no.
Like I would argue, Jamarcus Russell is a higher like that's that guy when the LSU hierarchy of quarterbacks has probably is more likely to be closer to the Joe Burrow level than Jayden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of was an animal in college, Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah,
And maybe we got to give him some more credit. Actually, we don't have confirmation if he watched film at LSU or not. So
definitely did not.
we don't know.
If
Maybe
Johnny
we don't
Manziel did
know.
not, there's zero chance that
We just don't know.
Marcus Russell.
We just don't know.
Yeah, but we got some preseason stuff to talk about potentially in the NFL. If you want to go over that real quick, and then we can sidestep a little bit. A lot of injuries, Grant. A lot of injuries in the NFL right now. Jordan Tyson just announced probably going to be out for 2-3 months. Jeremiah Love, high ankle sprain. Cam Scadabo's ankle apparently might have some issues. Carnell Tate just got hurt in practice today. Like, a lot of stuff going around injury wise.
We're missing. Okay, here's some more. Christian McCaffrey muscle tightness, which we'll get into that in a second. But Devontae Smith, also a hamstring injury. Also, the other Eagles wide receiver, Mekhi Lemon, another hamstring injury. That's triple tender hammies right there out of some receivers. Next up, Kyle Monangai knee injury. Was you love this. At first was reported not that bad, walked off, and then they were like, actually 3 to 4 weeks. Never
exactly love players getting injured. I want to clarify. We don't love players getting injured, but obviously for matchup wise, it is potentially
with
helpful.
all due respect, if I found out that Bryce Underwood was out for 4 months, I'd be really hyped. Just all due respect. All due respect. I know Michigan fans would be the exact same way about Jeremiah Smith. So no love lost there.
Jeremiah Smith and Jordan.
Other Bears safety Kobe Bryant.
He's out for like 4 months.
But at first it was reported 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, he's probably going to miss like the first 3 weeks of the season. Now it's 4 months.
I mean, just wrong, mean reporting at the start, going back to the start of this episode. But also have that Emeka Egbuka toe injury. Yeah. They're doing everything in their power to not say turf toe, but what else could the toe injury be if it's not a broken toe? Then a Puka Nacua groin injury.
Yeah, which has been ongoing.
I slightly believe more that he'll be okay because it's kind of Rams fashion that if you show any type of semi-injury, they're like bubble wrapped. You're not even looking at the practice field until week 1, and then it ends up being fine. So that one, I'm not as concerned about. I think Rams got some bigger issues right now with getting Aaron Donald to sign or not sign because he kind of looks washed, not going to lie, but regardless. Oh, and then the last injury reported on this thing is Drake London has Tua at quarterback. So that is also a major injury. But
Michael Penix also hurt, but that's more recovery than actual hurt.
Jayden
Um,
Daniels has taken over everything with the memes, but that gif of Michael Penix pointing over at Tua from the last preseason game, oh, that's all time right there. This is why the NFL is the greatest league on earth.
yeah. Also, for reference, when Jordan Tyson comes back, his first game, as of right now, is likely going to be played at MetLife, Grant. So uh, let's be careful about the other
I think we're
Hammy
gonna sit
there.
him out another week.
Yeah, let's
I
be
think we're gonna
careful
give him another
there.
week.
But yeah, a lot of injuries going around right now, and it's just weird. Like you would think, like there's usually a lot, but I feel like this year there's a lot more than typical.
Sure. Another quick comment on the Jeremiah Love thing. I happen to be watching that preseason game. Everett, I'm convinced they gave him 14 touches in the
Yeah,
preseason game.
they gave him way too many,
What are we
way
doing?
too many.
What are we doing, Arizona?
I mean, he looked good. Don't get me wrong, he looked good. But
Now,
you have
some
Tyler.
people, Everett, some people, this related to you, some people are saying that he looked like Adrian Peterson. What do you think? Next, Adrian Peterson?
Ooh,
Yes or no?
ooh,
I mean,
no,
exactly. That's an easy one.
no,
Come on, we got to
no.
stop doing this. Every time any new guy shows any slight of
You want to know who the closest
we
person to Adrian
can't just be
Peterson
comparing them
is?
to like a goat in the
You know who
position.
the closest person to Adrian Peterson is?
No.
Derrick Henry. That's the closest person in the NFL to Adrian Peterson.
Now, I wouldn't say they're very similar at all, personally.
I would
Derrick
say,
Henry's like so upright. I feel like Derrick Henry's like I've never seen anyone run like him. He's
yeah, he's a
one of
different
one.
breed, but I didn't, I
It's
said
very strange.
closest. I didn't say
No,
the
I
same.
don't think anyone runs like Adrian Peterson. That dude.
Well, no, nobody runs like Adrian Peterson's running style is fucking
It's like he
crazy.
gets shot out of a
Yeah,
cannon.
yeah, but more so the contact, like the thing that people were saying about Leonard Fournette coming out of the draft was that he was like Adrian Peterson, the way that he wanted to play.
Yeah, I think this is the issue. It's just any time a guy gets drafted, they're like
And
Adrian Peterson. They're gonna say
I would say
Jeremiah's
Leonard
Calvin
Fournette.
Johnson.
I would say Leonard Fournette was more close in that argument than Jeremiah Love.
Oh, I kind of agree based on how they literally run with the ball. Yes.
And I'm not even talking just by running with the ball, just general play style. And that's why I said Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry invites contact.
I just feel like Derrick
He's just
Henry's a
that
very
bigger
interesting
guy.
Very interesting.
But yeah,
guy. It's
obviously
crazy how
he's
this
his
lasted
own
well,
he's his
it's
own
actually
situation.
it's actually not that crazy. He lasted this long. That dude is a
Animal.
Trojan horse, for lack of a better term. Except
Interesting comparison. Interesting comparison.
He's barging through that wall, gift or not.
Yeah, but
He's a nightmare.
yeah, injuries just all around. And overall, though, Grant, I don't know if you have any comments on the Chargers preseason game, if you even watched it. From the Vikings preseason game, all I have to say is it's unfortunate Jamal Adams blew out his quadricep because he kind of looked like he was being helpful and he's going to be playing safety and linebacker.
Yeah, I'll be
Kyler
honest.
Murray looks
Yeah.
significantly better than JJ McCarthy in that situation too. So
When it comes to the Chargers, I think I'm done with watching Trey Lance for the rest of my life. So I did not watch much of the game, to be honest. Just being honest here, I didn't watch much of it.
Hey, trust tree. It's okay.
Yeah, hey, keep it in the circle, okay? It's just don't let that one slip out too hard. But I've seen enough Trey Lance in my life. I'm good.
Only it was Max Duggan.
Goodness me. No.
Easton Stick?
Horrifying. Bad on the eyes.
DJU?
Opposite of easy on the eyes. Interesting. You have no idea what you're doing.
That's like Jameis Winston for the Giants when I was watching the game. It made it entertaining.
Now that's just must-see TV,
Oh yeah, no, it was Jameis Winston versus Carson.
I don't even think DJU got a. Maybe he got one late. Once again, I wasn't watching, but
yeah, he's a practice squad guy. It's okay.
No, it was just a lot of Trey Lance, and I was sitting there like, I was watching Jeremiah Love get ran to the dirt, so that's what I.
Yeah, no, 14 touches. Like he better be bubble wrapped and not touch the field again the rest of the fucking stuff. Like,
and keep in mind they got the deepest running back room in the NFL.
Yeah, Tyler Algier, James Conner, Jeremiah Love, and I think maybe DJ Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, just those top three, it's like, dude, run them into the dirt.
Well, I guess they have Trey Benson as well.
Oh my God. And they
Yeah.
were like, Jeremiah Love 14. All right.
At
Now
pick
you're going to
3 or
have to play
whatever.
James Conner. So enjoy. Chargers got him early though. So, hey, if we can avoid Jeremiah Love, I actually love it. Great decision. Great decision, actually. Great move.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
be
actually, now that you
it's gonna
bring it
be
up, speaking
rotation.
of Chargers injuries, Rashawn Slater had a little
Little boo
mishap
boo.
last
Little boo boo.
week, was videoed on camera, stretching at the end of practice, seemed to be fine. He hasn't practiced in 7 days.
Ooh. Yeah, we don't like that.
It's August 17th, and the season might already be over, Everett.
You need to bubble wrap him.
That might not do anything because it might already be over.
Hopefully you can bubble wrap him and it's okay.
We actually need a time machine, Everett. That's what we need.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
odds are he'd probably hurt it again if we even went back in time still. So does it even matter? Probably not. But yeah, a lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff going on in the NFL. We'll move on here. AP poll dropped. Some new poll came out besides the coaches poll, but got some interesting reactions. We'll go backwards, 25-1 on the teams. Okay. We'll go through this one quickly, but in the bottom five, we got Missouri, Louisville, Willie Fritz, and the Houston Cougars coming in at 23, Iowa, and Utah. Now, my quick reaction to those five teams is Missouri sneaking in at 25. They are certainly going 6-6 or worse this year. So yeah, I mean, I find funny.
Bo Pribula is their quarterback.
No, Bo Pribula now plays for Syracuse.
The Island of Lost. What is it called in Pinocchio? For Misfit Toys. There you go.
Yeah, but no, Missouri being in there, that's an SEC buffer. I'm not sure who they open up conference play, but that is definitely in there to give some SEC team a ranked win. Louisville 24, I'm actually pretty interested in them this year. A lot of people are saying it. Louisville's live week 1. I'm blanking on who they're playing week 1. It's a tasty matchup. Let me get it for you real quick. They got Ole Miss week 1, and people are saying, watch out, they're live. So just throwing that out there. But if not, that's an Ole Miss top 25 win that they're giving them right there. Houston at 23, I could see them actually finishing the year ranked coming out of the Big 12. So I don't have any qualms with that one.
They looked much better towards the end of their season, and this is kind of like Willie's. This is the trend that he's usually on. Like, give him a year or two to build up the people he wants, and then he kind of has a boom year for like the school.
And I'll be honest, Wegman's actually looking okay now that he's out of A&M.
Houston could be one of those surprise teams, Grant. Like, I'm telling you right now, it could be a surprise team this year.
Oh, yeah, they could. 100%. But next up, we got the Iowa Hawkeyes, which, interesting situation, but, this might be a little bit of Big Ten hype up here. But I think Iowa, they are kind of in that mid-tier Big Ten teams. So I'm okay with it. Utah at 21. Now, I would say they're losing Whittingham, but, they fired
sometimes addition by subtraction,
But I mean, they fired Whittingham at the end of the year. So, I'm okay with that one too. Next up, Tennessee at 20. That one's wild card. Like,
yeah, I really don't know what you're getting there.
We'll see how the quarterback play works. A bit of a battle right now. George McIntyre apparently has taken the reins there as starter, but they got a highly touted quarterback currently back up with a reverse name, Faison Brandon. You would assume his name is Brandon Faison. No, Faison Brandon, reverse name. Last name's the first name's the last. Highly recruited guy, which a lot of Tennessee fans hope win the job. So maybe if you get a good season out of Faison, Tennessee could be a top 10 team when it's all said and done. But
I mean, we'll see.
Once again,
we'll see. The question mark.
SMU next at 19. That one I don't really have any problems with. Out of the ACC, which still is like the weirdest.
It's
the
a good
weirdest
spot for
conference.
them. UVA is going to regress this year with Chandler Morris being gone. So is Duke with Mensa being gone. So, SMU is in a position very much so where they can go and win that conference.
Yeah, we'll see if Miami's going to choke the ACC again, like they have every single year. But easily Miami's the favorite there. But based on recent memory, they just find a way to not win the ACC. Next, Penn State 18. I'm okay with it. Like ultimately bringing over Matt Campbell, a lot of Iowa State players. I'm okay with it.
Still a lot of talent.
They have
still
a really, really easy schedule this year. I think I read that they have the second or third easiest schedule in the country. No Ohio State, no Oregon, no Indiana for Penn State. So they avoid all the big boys in the Big Ten. I still think they're going to lose in Michigan later in the year. Going to stand by that one. I still think so. But even if they lose in Michigan, they can still go 10-2, maybe even 11-1 and make the playoffs. So it doesn't even matter really what happens.
Hell of a first year.
Washington at 17. I'm a big fan of Damon Williams and Jed Fish, so I like that ranking. Michigan at 16. Totally fine with that one. Give us a ranked win at the end of the year. Now, the AP poll I'm reading has it 14s. Switched up. Yeah, there are 2 14s. Maybe they actually do have BYU and USC tied, but I'm going to assume it's USC 15, BYU 14. USC, it's make or break for Lincoln Riley. He kind of needs to make the playoff this year, or I could see him getting axed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Maeva, senior, DeAnton Lynn's done a really good job turning over the
everything is in place for him to be able to have the best season.
USC,
everything's in place for him to have the best season he's had at USC.
But a slight hiccup, their starting center out for the year.
Yeah, but still, grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, you can make up for that, but that's a bummer.
Yeah, that's a rough.
That's a bummer. Not gonna lie.
One.
Then BYU 14, no problem with that one at all. Shout out, God, what's the cookie place called? Shout out Crumble Cookies. BYU still slotting in there at 14. Alabama at 13. Everett, I think this is the first time in 19 years that Alabama was not ranked preseason top 10 in the AP poll.
I'm going to be honest. I think this is Kalen DeBoer could be axed midseason.
I 100% agree. Now, there are some people out there, Josh Payton included, who thinks if Alabama goes 8-4, there's not even a chance he gets fired.
No, he's getting fired.
I think that's a little crazy.
I think he's getting fired. I think if
we're in agreement with B-Walk right now. So
yeah, I think if he get fired midseason, if they go 8-4, it's probably because he got fired midseason.
Yeah, I just do not see a world that they go no, literally no scenario can I see him going 8-4 and he keeps his job.
It's been too much of they've given him so much leeway over 3 years now. So
and if he goes 8-4 and the last one's a loss to Auburn, he might not leave the state of Alabama in one piece.
No, he's going to be 6 feet under.
Yeah, quite literally. Next up, Texas Tech at 12. Obviously, Brendan Sorsby's situation, but take Brendan Sorsby out of it, the rest of that team is just so good, especially for the Big 12.
Quarterback's the question mark in general, but
don't have any issues with that. LSU at 11, completely okay with it. If anything, I actually think they should be bumped up. I think there's another team in that 6 to 10 range where I'm like, how are they in the top 10 right now? Based off of talent, sure. I mean, yes, based off talent, sure, but I expect a big regression out of them this year, comparing schedules from last year to this year. But Oklahoma at 10, completely fine with, of course. Oklahoma 10, no issue with that. No issue with Oklahoma 10 at all. Ole Miss at 9, I think after what happened last year, that's fair to have them over LSU.
Trinidad's still great.
We need a top 10 matchup for that. That one's early. Ole Miss LSU, that might be week 3. It's early, and as of right now, that is the most exciting matchup of the college football season, I think.
It's going to be crazy in Louisiana.
It's in Mississippi.
I know, but I'm saying it's going to be crazy in Louisiana.
Sure. I'm thinking about Thinking about Mississippi right now in Oxford, and my God,
I'm thinking of going up there.
that could be that. I mean, that might be
I
the
might have to
greatest
go.
home crowd they've ever had in the
I
history
might have to
of Ole
go.
Miss. Yeah, no, A&M at 8. What are we doing? This is phony behavior. This is absolute phony behavior. A&M at 8. I can so see Texas 8-4 coming right back out from hiding this year. Miami at 7. Maybe a little bit underrated, but going over the next teams in the top 6, I guess it's kind of hard putting Miami over some of them. But I think Miami quarterback upgrade, I think that's what a lot of people's focus is on. But losing Ruben Bain, losing Akeem Mesidor, they're losing a lot of key players. Now, quarterback upgrade, you keep Malachi Toney, of course, keep Fletcher there too, who Ohio State committed at one point. We went over that when he decommitted. But returning a lot of key guys, but losing Ruben Bain and Mesidor, that's tough. Now they have some good players replacing them. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if they can replace the impact that Ruben Bain and Mesidor had, but they still have dogs on that D-line. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be tough to be Ruben Bain though. It's gonna be a little difficult. I think it's harsh expectations on anybody coming in, kind of like comparing Jeremiah Love to Adrian Peterson. Next up, Indiana at 6. This one I think is the most fair, underrated out of anything possible. Even if there's a quarterback downgrade, Fernando de Hoover, even though, yeah, they're losing a lot of 29-year-olds to the NFL this past cycle, but guess what? They replace them with more 35-year-olds. So it's okay. so I mean, it's okay. At this point, Sig, I can't knock him right now at all. Would say arguably disrespectful, not in the top 5, but Texas 5, Notre Dame 4, Georgia 3, Oregon 2, Ohio State 1. I think if I'm going to play around with any of that order, I would drop Ohio State to unranked. I would have Oregon, yeah, Oregon at 1. I think Oregon's really damn good this year. If all things go to plan, I kind of like them to win the national championship. I think Notre Dame at 2 over Georgia is also fair this year. Notre Dame looks very, very good this year. I know they're replacing Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, but I expect a really good year from CJ Carr. Defense looks amazing. They have the best corner in the country over there. So Notre Dame, I expect to have a really good year. And Texas at 5, I think, is fair, but I feel like
it's also just always the hype ranking, though. They do this every year.
I feel like people, like, objectively are looking at Georgia and Texas. I think Texas is a better team than Georgia. What they can do offensively compared to Georgia's, like, 1930 offense over there with Gunnar Stockton playing quarterback, and I still do not know if they have a receiver on Georgia.
I would take Notre Dame over both of them, though.
Oh yeah, same. But Texas, hey, let's just say this, that Ohio State game, week 2, Texas needs to win it. Ohio State doesn't. So
yeah, no, that's true. I mean, it'd be better for you probably to lose long term, but you just need to drop out of that 1 spot, Grant.
Yeah, get me out of the wall. Well, the damage has already been done, Everett. Ohio State, when they are the number 1 team preseason, it has quite literally never gone well. I think last time it happened was maybe it was 23.
I thought they were number 1 last year.
No, Texas was 1 last year. Ohio State was 3, but they were number 1 for the rest of the year from week 2 onward. But
close enough, but not preseason. Sure.
I think though the last time they were literal number 1 preseason was 2023. That was another season. That was CJ Stroud actually driving down Georgia, and then Noah Ruggles happened. Once again, I should never know a kicker's name. I should never know the kicker's name. Last name's acceptable. Number, completely fine. I should never know first and last of a kicker on Ohio State. Unfortunately, Everett, I think I'm going to know the kicker's first and last name by halftime of week 1 this year. I'm hearing
somebody at that school has got to be good. Somebody, like, just a random student. You have to have one student.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are literal clips. Ohio State students are going around. They're going to like the club football field, and they're just hitting 55-yarders like it's nothing. I'm like, they do exist. They choose not to give them a chance. So I expect disasters in the Ohio State special teams
Yeah.
room, especially when it comes to
Um,
kicking. But yeah, that AP top 25. I think any of those teams in the top 7 could win it. I think
we picking right now?
no. I'm just saying in general, any of those teams in the top 7, they could do it. I would toss in Oklahoma and LSU in that as well. I
No
guess
Ole
in
Miss.
theory, no, I don't think they could win it all this year. But I maybe, yeah, but yeah, sure, Bama can be in there.
What a high and low for Alabama this season. Getting fired or winning the national championship, but no in between.
I wouldn't pick them to win the national championship, but
You're just
it's
saying they can.
it's larger than 0.01% like most of the teams.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
If
That's
Indiana
fair.
could do it last year, yes, Alabama could, Everett.
Yeah, that's also fair. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay, all right.
that's the college football update.
Do we want to talk anything with Dodgers and Mark Walter and
It could
that
be
kind of
just
stuff? We
general
can wrap up with
situation with
that.
that before we wrap. So, first off, but Bus is selling off the whole thing. That's an interesting. They've been in it for a while, but they are now, I believe, yeah, the largest sale in professional sports history. $12.5 billion, right?
I think
Did somebody
so.
beat them? They're not
No, I
valued the
think
highest. I'm pretty sure Cowboys are worth like 14 or something, but Jerry Jones will quite literally never sell the Cowboys. He would pull a Walt Disney, freeze his brain, and be like, the second you have the technology, bring me back. I'm taking the Cowboys back to the 90s. So, Jerry Jones is never getting rid of the Dallas Cowboys. That is Jerry Jones. But the Bus family getting out of the Lakers, that, just on that point alone, okay. From my dad, who's been following the Lakers for a while, he claims the Bus family is like one of the worst ownership groups ever, specifically the kids. Not old Jerry Bus, but specifically the kids. Kind of done an awful job. Get really lucky having that guy Kobe, Shaq, Nico Harrison existing, giving them Luka Doncic. So they've been bailed out a lot with how things have gone. But the more important part that we're interested in, Mark Walter selling the team. I think he was the owner for like 10 months.
it
Of
was
the
not even a
Lakers.
full year, I'm
It
pretty
was
sure.
not a long ownership period, but maybe the shortest ownership in NBA history. Don't quote me on that one, but he was not an owner for very long. Gave that one up fast, but Mark Walter selling off the Lakers entirely. I'm not even going to get into Bob Iger taking over, and now any potential Lakers championship under Bob Iger will be a Mickey Mouse ring effort. So we're not even going to get into that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But more so, Mark Walter selling it all off. And also, there's rumors that he is also trying to sell off Chelsea right now, which would make the Dodgers the only team he owns. That's what I'm most interested in here.
Like, just generally speaking, like why that's the case,
No,
or
just like, could
just the
he
outcome for
sell
the
the
end?
Dodgers off pretty
Yeah.
soon here?
Yes,
And
and I mean,
then
remember that
the
Shohei can
Titans.
opt out if Mark Walter sells the team.
Oh,
Shohei
yeah.
can opt out, which he won't do, but he
Yeah, I'm not
can.
sure if he'd want to do that,
But that obviously makes a significant difference.
but it can mean the future spending comes to a screeching halt.
Yeah, it can make a significant impact on that, and it could also significantly impact the rest of baseball
Now, I
with the
will say,
lockout.
as of right now, with how the Dodgers are playing, I am now fully in favor of a salary cap. That means Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz we could send to the Wolves. So I'm fully in support of a salary cap. I wish we can get that in tonight. But yeah, the Mark Walter thing, that could be spooky hours with the future of the Dodgers. The future could be hitting us a lot quicker than expected.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think that also it's as assets go, it's probably obviously it's the asset he wants to give up the least, which also I think talks to how much money the Dodgers are probably raking in. But we'll see how it goes. It's all going to go down based on kind of this investigation of him. But
yeah, I mean, we'll say this: if the Dodgers lose the Rockies tonight, just sell the whole disband the whole franchise. Just Dodgers just wipe it
Get it
from the
out.
history books.
Get rid of it. But yeah, I mean the Dodgers are in their typical fucking August slump. This always happens. We always act like the world is ending. So talk to me again the end of the month, and we'll see where we're at.
I
Uh,
prefer a Labor Day check-in.
that's end of the month. Well, yeah, week after. So yeah, that works. That works for me.
Yeah, I
If
prefer a
it's
check-in the last 10-minute segment after week 1 of the NFL. We'll check in.
if yeah, if they still suck, we have some legitimate serious concerns. They're losing in the first round of the playoffs,
Oh yeah,
but
100%.
but yeah, I mean, other than that, Grant,
Trying to think what would be the Padres or
definitely,
the D
definitely,
backs right now. I think
definitely the
the
losers.
worst divisional winner, you get the 4-5. I think actually no, you get the 3-6. So it might be like Cubs or the D backs in that case. So we get the Cubs, which I honestly feel pretty good
I'd
about for
rather
playing
have
in the
that than the
playoffs.
D backs. So
Well, I like
uh,
D backs. I just don't want anyone in division to play.
yeah, yeah.
Padres, obviously, that's the most horrifying one. Regardless, I mean, Padres post All Star break looking a lot better. Now, I'm not saying they're going on the run they did last year when they had the best record in the MLB post All Star break. I'm not saying they're on that run, but they're hitting us now. Turn the ship around, Everett.
Probably could use some of that ourselves, actually. Would be nice. But yeah, Grant, I mean, other than that, rest in peace, Tommy John.
Yeah.
Did everybody I don't know if is it like the argument where it's like, if Newton never had the apple fall on his head, would gravity never exist? So if he never had his UCL get blown out with Tommy John, just nobody blows their UCLs anymore. It doesn't exist.
I'd like to think like that.
uh yeah, so
What? Actually, I was about to say, when is that going to reach the level of like ACLs now, just being like a broken ankle in terms of injuries? How that affects you long
I
term?
mean it's getting
At
there.
least for the first TJ, you come back throwing harder now. So the one thing though is the recovery time. TJ is like 12 to 18 months. Right now in the MLB, it's fully 2 years. So in terms of
Yeah, I
recovery
mean
time, I don't know when
it's
that's going to
also
hit
different probably
somebody.
per sport too and per position, which changes
Certainly.
things. So but yeah, Grant, I mean, with that, we can probably wrap up here.
Oh yeah.
Um so with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TV, Twitter, and on TikTok at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at Everett Takes and at Waterboy Grant with episodes on YouTube and all podcast platforms every week. So make sure you check us out there, especially as we get into the NFL season. And we also post exclusive content on TikTok and on Instagram
Yeah,
as well. So
gonna
make
get
sure.
the rankings going pretty soon here. We'll drop the preseason rankings soon. I gotta do all the conferences. Those are
Yes.
the people love those. All I gotta say.
Yep.
So definitely gotta get into that. Most excited for my SEC rankings. I cannot wait to do those. Those are the most fun. But yeah.
But yeah, with that, we'll see you guys next episode. Waterboys out.